Hey everyone, Shawn Clement here at the Royal Quebec Golf Academy in our indoor facility here, and we're just having a blast. If you're watching this, I am now at the PGA show, on the PGA show floor. I'm probably meeting up with the guys from Golf WRX, and so I hope you enjoy this video today. This week is Bryson DeChambeau week. We did a face-on analysis of Bryson on Monday. And now we're doing a nice down the line version. I'm going to show you a 7-iron and a fairway wood. And so just to resume what we talked about, we have a weak grip that Bryson has, and we have a setup that is very much pre-deployed. And this is a setup that we talk about where the difference between, you know, the distance between you and the ball, fairway wood versus iron, and that's where it gets a little bit more, a little easier. And you'll see the stuff that we talked about with the single length clubs. Have a look at my single length video that I did comparisons with my personal pings. I have basically the same length from the lob wedge through to my 9-iron, which is a ½ inch longer than standard. So I basically have an 8-iron length from the 9-iron down, and I really enjoy my long irons. So at least those irons are all at the same. I can't go much lower than that because I'm 6'1½", almost 6'2", with very short arms. So the extension that you see at address, I know I'm already used to that, and we worked with Mo Norman for a long time. So we did a lot of this pre-deploying, and with the weaker grip, it helps bring the hands up because as you extend the arms, there we go, it's much easier to get it, you know, into an extension this way. So now I get to the ball and I want to release in that direction. So we talked about the length, the width of his backswing. So you notice the takeaway that Bryson has is really spectacular. You see, if I want to send energy in that direction, so we talk about cutting grass is one of the main tasks of wisdom in golf. Well, if I'm cutting grass in this direction, I would never take it back like this. I would never take it back inside or out here or up there. None of those are going to help me cut the grass in the direction I want that ball to go. So I'm going to go very wide in that direction so I can cut grass nice and wide in the direction I want my ball to go. So if I stay wide along the ground, I'm going to get really nice compression, and it'll shallow the club in its natural manner. I don't have to manipulate the club to shallow out in any way. So I get into my setup. I got my posture here where my quads and my glutes are very active. I pre-deploy my arm club unit. See, right there is where it wants to pass. And then now I'm getting ready to deliver just to the right of that line in the net. So from here, I got that nice wide takeaway where it's allowed to stay wide because I'm turning the body. And as I get to the top of the backswing, the right arm's going to want to fold naturally and start to hinge my wrists. And now I'm just looking for that top spin backhand ping pong release in the direction I want that ball to start. So you'll notice that on the downswing, take away, top of backswing, downswing, you see how that lead wrist is nice and it's the flat lead wrist, but that's naturally what's going to happen because he's trying to maintain that width, and then he changes direction in the downswing. Gravity's pulling this way, and it's naturally holding that wrist in position. Now I'm collecting here, and I'm releasing down there. So as you see through impact, I'm collecting here. See that right arm is still bent with Bryson? And then you see the ball taken off there. And then after that, remember that topspin backhand ping pong release we talked about? Look at that lead wrist on this side, and you're going to see just how turned over that is. the perfect topspin backhand ping pong release is what saves Bryson and makes him extremely, not just powerful. See that release there? I had to do that. But it's also very accurate because he's got to release fully to get the ball to start in the direction of his target. And with those big grips, he's got this nice rotational ability. So I got my overlap grip for this one. So wide, and I release in the direction I want that ball to start. So you notice how those things have to occur. And in order to be able to stay with his target, that head stays back. Head stays back, it anchors the release, and everything stays on the inside here. And after that release, everything comes up into a nice high finish. So if you don't have the ability to fully release in this manner, and I meet students every day that they don't have the fast twitch muscles, and they don't have the capabilities to be able to do that effectively. They don't have that, that ability. So what they need to do is they need to make that grip stronger. And as you make that grip stronger, the club, see that? So if I close the face with that super neutral grip, and then I square it up, have a look at my weak grip or strong grip video. For those of you in the premium channel, have a look at the first video in the consistency series. So now, notice I've got a 4-knuckle grip with a square face. And if I relax everything, it wants to turn over all by itself. So I don't want to have to work at releasing in the direction of my target. I want the weight of the club to release me in that direction. And that's where things are a little bit easier when you're dealing with what we're talking about. Now, if you got Popeye forearms, you got very lightning fast hands, and you already have that release built in like Bryson does, all the power to you. If you go too strong, then you will really not feel comfortable. You're going to feel the need to hang on to it. And that's where you can really tell which one works best for you. After you take your grip-club relationship, and we're going to be releasing that way, of course, so have a look at my video entitled Through the Ball versus At the Ball. So if we have an action that's through the ball, and I'm getting ready to move through the ball and in that direction, do I feel the need to square it up manually? If I do, grip's too weak. If I feel the need to hang on to prevent it from going left, well, that means it's a little too strong. But the first thing you need to confirm is, hey, am I going that way or am I going that way? If you're releasing at the ball, you'll need to weaken the grip. But if you're releasing at the ball, your distance is going to suffer a lot. There's 30 yards difference between at the ball and through the ball. So Bryson is weak, yes. Bryson doesn't have as deep a lag as you have a Dustin Johnson or a Cameron Champ. Granted, he does a swell job though. He still won the long drive competition at the PGA. And if you look at other players that are having success, a lot of players are having success with that neutral grip, or maybe very, very slightly strong grip, because they're able to bow the club at the top and they've got the beef to do it. You have to have athletic ability and strength to be able to pull that off. And so, I'm 53, I can hit it out there, but I'm not a gym rat, so I don't have that kind of strength. I want to feel like I can throw the club out there and not have to do anything. That's my version. So we're going that way. I'm going to do my standard grip so you can see the difference. And you can see how my hands are a little bit lower. So I gather and I release the energy in that direction. You hear the difference in the compression. So for me, I'm gaining a club with a stronger grip. I can release deeper in the direction of my target. I can really benefit from the range of motion of my wrists. And for others, here's the weak, the pre-deployed, and the topspin backhand release. See the diff? So that feels very, very different. So I hope you enjoyed that. And we're going to have a boatload of new, exciting footage from the show this week. My daughter Savannah is with me down in Orlando, and she's behind the camera taking all this great footage. And we have some amazing footage that is going to come out with Golfing World again. And we're doing that over at the Duran Golf Club at the end of the week. That'll be tomorrow if you're seeing this today. And so we're very excited about 2019 at Wisdom in Golf. We'll see you next week.